for a wonderful organization. The theme behind this event is growth. And let me tell you, being an architect, practicing for 27 years, graduated from Regional Engineering College, Nagpur, I began my career, people call it a success story, but just similar to you. I recall, I remember, and I'm trying to relive the same experience here again with you all. Today, while I practice, my company, which is Vedic Sanskar Architectonics India Private Limited, and the mission statement or something that we target is plan your success hours to years. That's what we do. And what is it all behind this planning that helps people plan their stories, business, career, life for success, for growth? And it begins, this planning begins from hours and stretches to years. How did all this begin, you know? It's a very interesting story. Very difficult to squeeze all this and put it in 18 minutes, but let me take this challenge as usual. 4 years ago, I was invited, I'm taking you for a story, very small story. TED, under the name that you have organized this, T, E and D, you know all very well, but let me share E, E and E. E stands for experience, the other E stands for expression, and the third E stands for experiment. So I'm going to share my experience. I'm trying to express in a very engineered manner with you. And I'll also conduct a very small experiment in front of you, which you might have done maybe in your school or college, but you have hardly ever, correlated this experiment with something called as growth, or the structures that you live in or you perform your activities in. May it be a commercial space, may it be a residential space, or anything else. So experience is, say 4 years ago, as a part of my duty, I was invited by one multinational company. The director asked me to visit a wonderful small state besides Maharashtra, that is Goa, and asked me to visit a plant which the management has decided to shut down. The director asked me that, can you visit Sanjay and do something for this plant the management is trying to shut down? I am putting up a very strong fellow member who is an IITian basically. I am not mentioning the company name, neither the person's name. I said, what is the reason and what for I am supposed to go there? Why management is deciding to shut down? Simple reason, that is growth. He shared his experience with me, saying that management has set up this plant for more than 7 years. We are trying to run this plant. We are unable to grow. We are unable to produce something that we are targeting at. Quality issues are there. Lot of legal and labor issues are there. Can you or your science be of any help to us? I had been to the plant. Very simple theory, all you engineers are aware of. We engineers, I'm basically an architect, you are engineers, but we belong to the same similar parallel fraternity. So survey, analysis and design is something that we do normally. So I had a very small survey of the plant, analyzed the situation, designed a solution for them, and came back to them with a solution. The director has asked me that they are going to take a shutdown decision in next 3 months. I said, let's do something, add couple of months, 2-3 months more, wait and not to shut down, do something that I am trying to do here. The management cooperated very well. We did whatever I was suggesting. Whatever I suggested, friends, is very interesting. It is something that our ancient people used to do, and it has all been described, prescribed, and noted in not just hundreds, but thousands and lakhs of scripts that are available in the libraries around our nation. Whatever we did, somehow I knew it in advance. That's how we practice it every day. And the plan, the entire story turned around. Today, in that organization, they have some internal grading kind of system. The plant is number 2 plant among the 13 plants of the company. What is the magic that has worked there? See, before this English pattern of education that we are learning in engineering heading, in our country, still engineering and architecture was there. And that was being practiced in a different name under the different disciplines. We are all not aware of it. It's a great work waiting for all of you to take up, study, analyze and apply it in our day-to-day life. How to do it? Yes, there is a lot that can be shared with you, but I have done it just like you doing a thesis for my final year project. Like I think all of you may not be in final year, but few of them are certainly from final year. I'm sure anybody from final year here? So you must be having your thesis or project waiting for. And just similar to you, I had taken up a project for a study of fort which is just nearby Pune. That's a capital fort of Shivaji. A very miraculous structure. You all should go and visit and try to know what miracles are there. People used to call it miracle. It's not a miracle, but it is a wonderful arrangement that an architect can achieve in any structure, which sounds really very difficult even for today with all the modern engineering and architectural techniques. Not a right time to share with you what all miracles are there, but with all this project and my thesis and my study, I have done some experimentation and did some research work which took me to get 11 patents to my credit, which is a total system that I work with and help people to grow. See, it's very interesting how a structure, whether it's a residence or an office space or an industrial enclosure, can help you grow. It's very, very difficult to digest. But I'm trying to explain you with a lot of interesting things in front of you. Let's perform the experiment. When we talk of Vastu Shastra, lot of anxiety is there that what is it all about? Is it some kind of jadoo ka chadi that works and help you grow? No, it's not like that. So then what is it all about? Vastu is an art, it's a science, it's a combination of art and science, like architecture, my stream is all about, that helps you design a structure in tune with the nature. The structures are being designed for us, for human beings, and without taking into account the person that is being, utilizing the structure, how can it be designed? The place, the system, the ecosystem where the structure is going to be placed, without taking into account this entire natural system, how can it be designed? So if we design it based on the ancient Vastu principles, what happens? Let us conduct an experiment. You are all aware, we work hard in our lives, in our career, around, we move out, we exert, we get exhausted, and we feel lack of energy. We come back to our residences, have food, have fun with the family members, stay, take rest, get recharged, and the same next day, same schedule repeats. But we are taking it wrongly that only with the food and rest you get recharged. It is not so. Let's see what happens. Just imagine one of the pendulum is a person who is utilizing or using a structure, and the other pendulum is the structure itself. What we are trying to do here is just hold this frame tightly. See to it that the frame doesn't move, and neither the table. Hand should be down here. Friends, these pendulums are non-magnetic. This frame is a rigid frame. It's a brass frame. There is no air blow or fan working here. And I am going to apply force to one single pendulum in front of you. Just hold the frame tightly. I have applied force to one single pendulum, that is white pendulum. The frame is a rigid frame. You have done this experiment. Here, if this pendulum is suspended with length x, we call it wavelength. And if for both the pendulums, the wavelength is same, and if we apply force to one single pendulum with a rigid frame with no on and off switch, the energy gets transferred. The principle that you know this all about is resonance. Can you see the other pendulum moving? Thank you so much, Vedanta. Thank you so much. This is what happens if two friends meet in a group and really gel very well, extremely well together. And you commonly use this terminology called as hamara wavelength milta hai. Right? And not always girl and a boy, but also two boys and also two girls. But wavelength milta hai, what do you mean by that? Wavelength milta hai, what do you mean by that? The same principle once applied to the structure, and if the structures can be designed in such a way by knowing what is the wavelength of user, this science has made miracles. I have seen it all these 27 years in my life. I am trying to help people, organizations, industries, individuals, and corporates. This is not a miracle, it's a pure science. Friends, this science is waiting for you all. It is not just architecture. It is, even in the ancient times, these master craftsmen, they were not just mechanical engineers, they were not just civil engineers, they were not just architects. They were almost all in one, called as master craftsmen. And a lot of ancient texts are waiting for you. I think when the wavelengths are same, the energy gets transferred with no time. When the wavelengths are not same and it is unequal, then it is not resonance, then it is forced vibration. And forced vibration is something that creates a lot of disturbances in your life or in energy transfer, that is growth. But if we can match up, if we can design structures, if we can plan our activities, if you can utilize the knowledge of ancient science, then let me promise you, growth is a simple thing that is a right for everybody. I wish you best of luck, and let's see, analyze what our ancestors have done and bring a wonderful and growing future for the generation next. Thank you so much.